Hey there everybody, this is Mike Jones from the Connection Games and Comics with another Friday Night Magic Booster Draft. This is the M14 release draft, so this happened on July 19th. We had 31 players, so we had 4 pods, 3 8s and 1 7. I am drafting in one of the 8-man pods. Fortunately, I'm drafting in the same pod as my son, and I end up having to play against him in the first round. That goes together okay. At least one of my 2 colors was underdrafted. I think we're going to find in this format that green is going to always be overdrafted. Anyway, so here's the first pack. You got the Mauler there, Baloth, Lava Axe is not bad, Molten Birth, not sure if I like that card yet. The Tusker is pretty sweet, 3/3 for 2 mana, Angelic Accord, and a Haunted Plate Mail. I like this pick because the Haunted Plate Mail lets me stay open to whatever colors I'm getting past. It's a good card in and of itself, +4/+4. Equipment's nothing to sneeze at, and the fact that it turns into a creature if you have no other creatures on the board is also quite nice. So for 4 mana, I'll pick that up, and that leaves me wide open, so I'll see what I get past here. But I'm passing a lot of great beasts, so I'm thinking someone down the line to me on the left is going to end up in the beast deck. Although with so many in this pack, you're going to be passing something that's going to give a kind of funky signal. Anyway, so here I get Water Serpent's playable, Chandra's Outrage is good, double red makes it a little harder to, it's not really splash. Same thing for Liturgy of Blood, good removal card. Claustrophobia, another good removal card, also difficult on the splash. So I get Flames of the Firebrand here. That one is the most splashable of all the removal we're seeing in this pack, so I think it's not necessarily the strongest piece, but it certainly takes care of a lot of weenies. The fact that you can move the damage around. Water Serpent's a good creature, but you take bombs, then removal, then evasive creatures, then you take good creatures. Then you take ability creatures after the evasive creatures. So it's way down the list on the picks as far as I'm concerned. Sengir Vampire's in here as well, I believe, and that is a good evasive creature, and you could say maybe that would have been a better pick here. But I like Flames quite a bit. It's decent removal. I think Red's going to typically be underdrafted a little bit in this format, but yeah, again, this is the first draft, so who knows. So you get Brindlebore Enlarge is pretty sweet. Mark of the Vampire is a good card. Trollhide's decent. Blur Sliver, if I manage to get into the slivers here. You get an Advocate of the Beast. And a Celestial Flare. Okay, so again, I'm going to be picking up a piece of removal here. I think Celestial Flare is the best. There's some good creatures there. I like the Trained Condors quite a bit in this format. Enlarge is a nice piece of green pseudo removal. I mean, he has to get blocked. Very unlikely you're going to get 2 for 1, as they're unlikely to have anything that can beat probably a 9/9 when you add +7/+7 to it. Anyway, so I picked up the card there. I can't remember what I picked up. Anyway, so here we go with this pack. What have I got here? Plummet, the Firecat, a Shock, another Advocate of the Beast, and a Sliver Construct. Oh, I picked up the Celestial Flare. That's what I picked up there. So maybe white-red at this point. Shock's decent. Again, I like the card quite a bit. It's very flexible. You can even play it on the splash if you need to. But that's I like Advocate of the Beast quite a bit. If some of those beasts come back around from my first pack, maybe I should have picked up the Advocate there, but the Shock's good. Don't mind that. So here's a Plummet, Howl of the Night pack, Ring Flesh, Suntail Hawk, and a Millstone in the back there. I think there's a Goblin Shortcutter. Howl of the Night pack is good, but you really have to commit to going heavy green, and again, I don't think green's necessarily going to be all that open in this format. Plummet's a decent piece of removal. I think you're almost guaranteed that your opponent's going to have some flyers for that to be a decent card. You can leave it in your sideboard if you're concerned about it. Again, I'm sort of red-white here. I didn't really want to get into black. It doesn't look like there's much else black in this pack except for the Ring Flesh. Fortify can be a card. Kind of a combat trick thing. But I've already picked up I don't think I have any creatures yet, so maybe I need to start thinking what kind of creatures can I get. And there's not a lot of creatures in this pack. It looks like everybody else is taking the creatures, so I'll pick up a Suntail Hawk here. Not exciting. And this is what I got. Mind Rot. The Drake's decent. Another Shortcutter, Angelic Wall if I'm in white. Hunt for the Weak. Hunt the Week, sorry. Hunt the Week is, I think, the most premium piece of green removal, which seemed to indicate to me that green is pretty open if that's still here, and this is 4th pick out of this pack. Although there's Angelic Wall there. I don't really like the Flesh Pulper 4/4 for 7 mana that gets rid of a 2. Not so exciting. So I pick up the Hunt for the week here, or Hunt the Week here. Let's see what else I get. So now, look, nothing in green. So maybe green isn't open. I don't know. It's really hard to read signals in here. Blood Baron, I think, is actually probably the best card here. Oh, maybe Active Treason. You know, but I'm short on creatures. Active Treason, I think, is going to be pretty good in this format. But Oromancer, there's lots of good auras that we saw go by already. So I don't think that's a terrible pick here over the Blood Baron. Again, I'm not in black yet. So far I've got white, red, and 1 green card. And I'm kind of short on creatures. There was a bit of a pause there. And now I get Staff of the Wild Mages, another Hunt for the week, Dragon's Egg. And wow, I'm not sure that I can pick up another Hunt for the week at this point. I don't really have a lot to hunt with. None of my creatures are that big. Dragon Egg. I'm definitely going to be in red with the Flames and the Shock I've already got. White, maybe. The Celestial Flare is not a very splashable card, and my other 2 picks in white weren't that exciting. Suntail Hawk and I don't even remember what the other one was now. Anyway, so I'll pick up the Dragon Egg here again, needing some creatures. It's funny, the Dragon Egg would have been good at a number of points in my matches this evening, and I don't think it ever hit the table. Anyway, so wow, look at all these beasts coming back here. So I got Verdant Haven, I've got Angelic Accord, Rumbling Bale. I guess this is my opening pack. So I got 2 of the beasts came back in a Verdant Haven. So I'm going to take a look at what I've got here. So yeah, Celestial Flare, Suntail Hawk, and Oromancer are my 3 white cards. And I've got 1, 2, 3 decent red cards. So I'm going to jump on the green bandwagon here. Between the 2 beasts, the Rumbling Baloth is definitely better. I don't think Angelic Accord is going to fit in my deck. I don't have anything that's going to gain me 4 life on a regular basis. You know, if you first pick a trading post, then maybe you can take the Angelic Accords. Otherwise, it's hard to gain 4 life on your turn, and then when you play the spell, you basically wasted a turn. Here we get Dragon Hatchling, Glade Cover Scout, Claustrophobia. So wow, is nobody playing blue? Claustrophobia is pretty good. But again, I'm going to look for creatures. Oh, there's an Altar's Reap there in the back. Not so great. So I'm going to pick up the Dragon Hatchling there. You know, a 0/1 flying fire breather. It's not terrible. He's got evasion. He's going to get through and possibly do some damage. He'll stop their big flyer if you have enough mana open. So here I get Blur Sliver, Barrage of Expendables, which is not really playable, or Troll Hide. I think the pick here is between Blur Sliver and Troll Hide, and again, creatures are a higher priority over things that enchant creatures. Would have liked to have had a Troll Hide eventually at the end of this draft, but whatever, when I get there. And now I've got Sliver Construct or Raging Firecat, or whatever that called, the Firecat. So I'll pick up the Sliver here. I've got a Blur Sliver on that right now, and then I get the Shortcutter and a Mind Rod as my last pick there. So not a bad first pack. I've got pretty decent removal. My creatures are very average so far. I think the all-star there is the Rumbling Baloth. So I'd like to be red, green, maybe a white splash, which happens to be the primary sliver colors. So if I start seeing some good slivers, I guess I can get into the slivers here. I think slivers is going to be very difficult to draft in this format. A lot of the good slivers that you want to pick up are very playable even if you're not in the slivers deck. Like the Predatory Sliver is just a good bear. The 1/1 First Strike isn't terrible on its own if you're in red. The 2/2 Haste for 3 is not terrible if you're in red. In the Manawef Sliver, just a 2-mana Birds of Paradise isn't terrible. So I'm not sure that you can really draft slivers in a big way, but here I've got Savage Summoning as my rare, or a Manawef Sliver. Got a couple of slivers already, so that's acceleration and will help me if I end up doing a splash. Opens me up a little bit, so that's what I'll pick up there. Yeah, a little bit of a pause there on my point. So I get here past a Strionic Resonator, Darksteel Ingot, there's another Claustrophobia, another Marauding Moth Beast, there's the Brindleboar, Bramble Crush, Forest there. I guess the picks really for me I think are between Strionic Resonator, not that I'm going to use it, it's just that it's rare drafting because this is the first week, or Darksteel Ingot. I think Darksteel Ingot would have been a better pick, or maybe even Brindleboar. Thunderstrike, yeah, I don't know, I haven't played with that card yet, maybe that'll be good. But I'm just going to pick up the Resonator here. I can't even remember if I've got any triggered abilities so far in my deck. I think I do, but I don't think it's going to see play. Not much in limited anyway. So I get Solemn Offering, that would be decent. Verdant Haven's good, especially if I'm going to splash. Quag Sickness, well, that's a decent removal. Academy Rector, another Sanger Vampire, and a Trader's or Tenacious Dead. I love the combos with Tenacious Dead. There's so many good ones in this format. Anyway, but you have to be in black for make most of those work. So I'm just gonna pick up the Verdant Haven here. Soulmender, not something you want if you're splashing white. And here we get the beast, but a Predatory Sliver and a Blur Sliver and a Pacifism. Wow, this pack is good. There's a lot of things in here I wouldn't mind. And a Phantom Warrior. Oof. Well, somebody in blue is doing okay today. Anyway, I think the pick here for us is really the Predatory Sliver. That's a pretty good indication that like this is third or fourth pick in this second pack, that so slivers are coming this way. So maybe I can get some more good slivers. Another Marauding Malhorn, Lightning Talons, +3/+0 for strike, another Hatchling, another Advocate of the Beast, or a Sliver Construct. So I guess my choices here are, do I want more slivers? Am I going to go all in on the slivers, or am I picking up the beast thing? So I'm going to take a look and see what I got. Normally you can't do this, but this is FNM and we're pretty casual. I think if anybody... So I've got enough slivers that, you know, the Sliver Construct's not terrible, but... you know, when you just compare the two cards side by side, 3 mana for a 2/3 that makes your beasts bigger, or 3 mana for a 2/2 that might have some other abilities if you have some other slivers in play. So anyway, I pick up the Advocate for the beast there, and I got Pacifism here, another of the Intimidate dudes, or Plummet here, I guess. Would be my other choice. But I'll pick up the Pacifism. That's just a sweet piece of removal, and that's splashable if I end up splashing white. Which I do. We get another Hunt the Week, but I get the First Strike Sliver here. So slivers are definitely coming in this direction. I've got a Hunt the Week already, and this guy is just good. So if I can have an early aggressive game with my slivers, and then we finish off with some big beasts if I'm lucky. Wild Guess, Blood Baron, another Claustrophobia. There's a ton of Claustrophobias going around here. I think there was a blue-black deck that wanted to get built, but I don't know. I don't see a lot of black coming right now. Yeah, Archaeomancer's in there as well. But, an Elixir, so maybe Elixir or Fog for me. Really, I'm not going to take a Wild Guess, I don't think. I think it's either Blood Baron or Claustrophobia for best card in the pack, but I'll just pick up a Fog here. You never know, sometimes Fog is very useful out of the sideboard. We get the Cyclops Tyrant, which is the 6-mana Intimidate, and then another Hunt the Week, Naturalize there as well, but I'll pick up the Hunt the Week there. So now I've got 2 of those. That makes me pretty happy. Never have too many Hunt the Weeks in my opinion, as long as you've got some beasts or big creatures to hunt with. So speaking of big beasts, there's the Malhorn for me. I really love to pick up at least one more Advocate of the Beast. Malhorn's fine on his own. It's a 4-mana 5/3 that must attack every turn. It's not terrible, especially if you've got some combat tricks. Here we get nothing. This is just a flat nothing. Soulmender is the only thing that we might play, but Mark of the Vampire is better enough than that. Glimpse of the Future is not really playable. And here we get Solemn Offering. That's something good out of the sideboard if I see some enchantments I really hate. Or some artifacts for that matter. Getting down to the end of pack 2 here. Hey, look at that. 2 picks. So I need more creatures. The Lightning Talons is decent, but I think I'm just going to pick up another Hatchling. I think I end up with 4 Hatchlings at the end of this draft. I only end up playing a couple of them, but and some random blue card. I think it was Carl Merfolk there. That was my last card. Sorry, I forgot to show you that. Guess I'm too excited seeing it's the new format. Alright, so what do we get here? Woohoo! Bomb! Alright, so I know what I'm picking out of here. Let's just go see what else is in the pack. Got a Shiv's Embrace, and wow, some cards that are upside down. That's kind of weird. Yeah, so there's like 4 cards randomly inserted in this pack upside down. So, Pitchburn Devils is in there, Verdant Haven's in there, Sea Kite's in there, Active Treason, Shiv's Embrace. So, yeah, we'll take the Shiv and Dragon. Thank you. Nothing like an on-color bomb in pack 3. That's a good feeling. So we get a Mystic here. Ooh, the Behemoth is good. Got a foil Darksteel Ingot. Another Advocate of the Beast. Banisher Priest. Now, hard on the splash. And it really looks like white is my splash color right now. So I guess I'm really looking at the Mystic for ramp. The Behemoth is just a finisher, and I don't know if I have a lot of creatures, but I think I'm looking at this going, I have 2 Hunt the Weeks. I guess Hunt the Week's not terrible with Advocate of the Beast, but it's better with the Woodborne Behemoth. And so first I pick Advocate of the Beast, and then realize my top end of my curve doesn't have much right now, and so I'll pick up the 4/4 for 5 that can become an 8/8 if you have 8 or more lands in play, which is doable and limited. You're not going to get it every game, but there's often, you know, stall out. So here we get a Spore Mound, Cyclops Tyrant, or nothing else. That's really it for us. Canyon Minotaur, I guess, if that comes back around. Pay No Heed is actually playable. Blessing's not playable on the splash. So I guess for us it's really between the Tyrant and the Spore Mound. And 3/3 for 5 is not that exciting, even though it makes Saproling tokens. But I'll pick up that. And we get a Glade Cover Scout enlarged. Yay, one of those came back. That card's actually really good in limited. You know, it's sort of green removal spell. You know, you put that on your 2/2, your Grizzly Bear, you got a 9/9 that they've got to stick something in front of. Very unlikely that they're going to have, you know, something that's got 9 power to 2 for 1 you. So you're typically going to get a 2 for 2 if they block it with everything, or you're just going to get 9 damage in, which I don't mind doing for 5 mana either. So yeah, I think that should get picked a little higher in limited, in draft, especially if you're in green or you know you're committing to green. Again, I'm a little worried that green's going to be overdrafted. I think at our table of 8, 5 players, at least 4, but probably 5 players were in green as one of their 2 main colors. So the person to my right was in green, so we got a Molten Birth, Canyon Minotaur, something, a Water Servant, or a Ranger's Guile. Water Servant's probably the best card in the pack. There's a Quick in there as well. I don't think that card's going to see a lot of play. But I think I'm just going to pick up Ranger's Guile here. You know, if I run into a removal heavy deck from one of my opponents, that can come in out of the sideboard and randomly save your guy. Show of Valor's splashable. I got a Fire Shrieker, a Shock, Ground Shaker Sliver. So it's really between the Sliver. I think this Ground Shaker Sliver for 7 mana, 5/5 Trampler is the worst of all the slivers. In my opinion, anyway. Maybe you could say that the Artifact 2/2 is worse, but I think actually that's playable. That one's really not. So I pick up a Shock here. So now I've got 2 Shocks, Flames, a couple of Hunt for the Weeks. I got some decent removal. So here's a Hatchling, Lay of the Land, Artificer's Hex is not playable, a Glade Cover Scout. I mean, Hexproof is decent, but he's on such a small body that, you know, and I really haven't picked up a lot of the enchantments to throw on that guy. If I was doing a green-blue enchantment deck, maybe the Glade Covers would have been decent. Or green, I don't know what would be good there. Enchantment-wise, going to be green-black for marks and stuff. Anyway, so I got Shrivel, Gnawing Zombie, but I got a Blur Sliver is really, I think, the only thing for us here. So we got 3 or 4 slivers now, so it's not I don't think it's enough to call yourself a sliver deck, but again, they're all sort of playable on their own. You're never really too sad. You get a Blur Sliver with a Predatory Sliver out, and you got 2/2 and a 3/3. Anyway, you get Pitchburn Devil's back and Active Treason. Pitchburn Devil's a nice curve topper. a way to do. Nobody wants to kill it because it'll do 3 damage to something on your side of the board, or just 3 damage to your face. It's almost guaranteed getting through for 3 most turns. So I get a shortcutter, demolish, or fog here. Let's pick up another 2-drop. Nothing much. I mean, I could hate the mark, I guess, but pick up the shortcutter there. Yeah, I mean, shortcutter is playable 2-drop and get stuff through randomly. Oh, the tyrant came back. That's fine. I'll take one of those. Not really going to play a Tome Scour or Pay No Heed. And the hatchling is better for us than the other two. We got 2 red cards left here. Molten Birth versus Canyon. This is a really hard pick. I mean, 3 mana puts 2 1/1s in play, and maybe you get to do it again. Versus guaranteed 3/3 for 4 mana, which is a little easier to cast. I think Canyon Minotaur works better with my Hunt the Weeks, so again, I want a little bit more power and toughness, so I'll take the Canyon Minotaur there. And Stonehorn Chanter is not really going to go in my deck, I don't think. So anyway, that's what I ended up taking for the draft, and here's the deck I end up with. I'm sorry for the super slow-mo. So I play the 1 Sliver, the 2 Shocks. I'm running 17 lands. I think it's 7 mountains, 8 forests, and 2 plains. Splash is only for the pacifism there. I also got the Verdant Haven there. And you can see top out at Shivan Dragon. I've got 2 5s, 2 4s, only 1 Advocate of the Beast. Wouldn't I say 2 of the Blur Slivers, a Dragon Egg on the 3-drop. I ended up running 2 of the Dragon Hatchlings versus the Shortcutters on the 2-drop. I'm also running the Predatory Sliver and the Manawef Sliver. I mean, it'd be interesting to hear your opinions on which is a better 2-drop, the Dragon Hatchling or the Shortcutter. Maybe I should run 1 of each. I often find myself boarding out a Hatchling and putting in like the Ranger's Guile or something like that. I didn't run the Artifact Sliver. Anyway, the deck goes 2-0-1. My opponent and I drew in the last round, and we played it out anyway, and he would have won. But so it was a good draw. Enlarge turned out to be a super all-star in our deck, so we got the 2 Hunt for the Weeks, the Flames, and Enlarge is a removal package. The Haunted Plate Mail was really good, and there you can see my sideboard with a Sliver Construct on top. I think it was my last cut. Shivan Dragon, obviously an all-star. The Behemoth was good in my matches. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the store one day if you're ever in town. Again, it's Mike Jones signing off. Bye.